Sorry for the coughing. But anyways, I have already drawn the pencil part of this drawing, right? And hopefully we can get through the deer, the murkiness is the water, and of course we'll probably be doing Pierce as day number 6, I think it is. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. The god, it's going to be about Kami, and Kami I'll get into shortly once I start inking. But as of right now, yeah, this is where we're going to start. We're going to start with the pencil work. The other Kami I will put in the back after I've done this and this. So this is deer, this is murky. Yeah. Let me grab some coffee though and put on some music. Music. Where is my music? Chill Halloween music. No, let's do chill Japanese music. Always have to have a ad. Well, good morning, everybody. And if you are new to the channel, my name is Josh. I'm an artist, illustrator, and been trying to make this channel grow and get more productive. You know what I'm doing. And it's been fun. I've been meeting great people through it, and probably people like yourself. And it's great to meet other artists and talk and chat and see what you think and about art. And art's such a subjective thing, It's quite nice. Oh, I'm just spilling coffee everywhere. It's too early in the morning for me. We're going to start with maybe I should do, let's see. I usually don't show myself. Let's see how I look on screen. No, I don't want to do it. We're not showing myself today. Sorry, guys. I'll probably look janky. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button if I didn't say that already. Coffee. Okay. All right, we're going to start right here. And okay, good. All right, well, so let me get this mic closer. I'll move this in front. So as I'm studying Japanese mythology, Shintoism, and the kind of the ancient religion and belief systems of Japan, and I'm a big fan of Japan. I love Japan. I have been there more than any other country I've traveled to. I think everyone should go because it's just an absolute beautiful, beautiful, beautiful country, and the people are marvelous, marvelous human beings. Some of the most creative people I've ever met. But the religion I don't know anything about, really. I've been studying this month about it, listening to a lot of books and audiobooks and stuff like that, as well as some documentaries on it. And I am not a religious person. but I am what you would call, like, I guess, spiritual in the sense that I believe there is there's something we don't know. Maybe the Force, like the Jedi Force, but whatever it is that we haven't studied yet and observed well enough, I think it leans on to what people would call spiritual. So, in that sense, when I was in Japan, I went to a temple, and it was the most powerful feeling I've felt on a spiritual aspect. Which I'm not like I'm not like, ooh, I feel good, this way or whatever, woo woo. I'm not a woo woo kind of guy. I love science. Actually, sciences and animals and geography and anything to do with the natural world, I enjoy more so than kind of pursuing the spiritual, like emotional. I don't know what it's called when people just kind of live in that world, which is cool. That's all. Hey, more power to you. But I love science and I love history. Um, all of that stuff is good to me. But a lot of my friends are very spiritual, so they probably had it. But this is the first time I ever felt it, and I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy." I could feel like this presence. It was like, or some heaviness, I guess you would say. Don't know what it was. Don't know if it was good or bad or just whatever, but it is what it is. Have you ever felt something like that? I'm curious because I don't think people talk about it enough. Have you ever felt like a spiritual feeling, or maybe a ghost or some kind of presence that was like, you're like, I know it was there, but you almost swear it, but then people probably wouldn't agree with you, I'm always curious if people have that. I've had that a few times where I'm like, man, this is quite the experience, and this deer doesn't have an ear. Weird. Yeah. What's your take? As creatives, I think creatives are very attuned to, the force. But that could be me just projecting my artistic desires on the world. So kami, what is kami? Kami in Japan is this representation of the spiritual world with the natural world. For example, kami could be anything. It's like the force, like I said before, Jedi. It molds into the natural world, such as, like, here's an example. This deer is a kami, right? This deer is a kami because one of the gods rode this white deer in. Well, I don't know the actual full story, but I know that there was a white deer that he rode, and the deers are considered kami and respectful. That's why you see there's a Nara Park in Japan where they bow to the deer, and the deer bow back. A lot of respect. It's very beautiful. They show deer respect. I think it has to do something with the deer goddess. I love that. That's fantastic. Um, and so, like, that kami is of the deer. And there was an actual hair kami, right? And this hair kami was from a hair cutter or a hairdresser in this village, and he was so good that when he died, they made him into a kami of sorts. And so now there's a hair kami. And the sumo wrestlers, I think, contain kami, and that's why they're very important and respected, is because they're so large. There's a lot of, I think there's lore to who they are as sumo wrestlers in the spiritual world. That is something fascinating, and I want to study. So I'll get back to you on that. But oh yeah, that'd be smart. I hooked up I'm over here trying to record. I only have memory cards in my car, my stuff. As for the drawing here of the deer, I'm outlining most of it, but I'm not going to fill it in. Actually, the deer is going to be the most undetailed character because I want it to be white and of light. Yeah, and then this will be a very detailed back here, very murky and gross, sketchy artwork. That'll probably give me the vibe. And then pierce, the word pierce for Inktober, today's actual drawing. I may do a separate drawing, or I may include it as a piercing that the goddess is wearing. So kami can be anything that the spirit is, given into, and people I think can kind of vote on the kami in a sense. But it's this force and this idea, and I need to learn more. But if you know more, if you actually practice Shintoism and stuff, please do let me know. I do not claim to know anything about the religion, but as I'm learning about the characters and the goddesses, it's very cool. It's probably one of the most fascinating mythologies I've come across. I mean, I love my Greek, but this is like a family tree of gods, like any other kind of religion and cult practices and mythology. There's a family, and they spawn off, and they create a child, and that child wants to kill them, and then they spawn off of that, and they create the world from their skin or something, and so on. All right, let's do this. Now, some people have asked me before why I do this with my eraser over my drawings. It's because it takes off the top layer of lead on the drawing, so there's not so much lead getting onto the felt tip of the pen. Because if you get too much lead on there, it starts to it starts to dry it out, and it creates like just issues. So to me, it's important to take off the top layer of lead that's on your. You can even go further and kind of scrape some of it to make it more transparent, but I think just rolling it's just good enough. It's good enough. Oh yeah. Hold on a second. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. My dog's not feeling well. I just got back from the ER, so that's why I haven't slept, and that's why I'm up so early. Is because my dog has been throwing up and been really sick and shivering, and we just took him, and they said that his vitals are okay and whatnot, so that's okay. But he's I just gave him some meds, and he seems kind of sketchy, so I might have to bolt right after this, and I apologize, people who are watching, but my dog comes first, right? I want to be there for live stream, but art is art, and you guys will live. And plus, I'm not like Not Mr. Beast over here where I have thousands, millions of people watching me probably. So I can afford to make sure that I take care of priorities. I hope he's okay. I hope it's just he's cold and he needs to warm up. And jeez, good God. So there's one issue with having glass drawing tables is that everything slides off. So it's important you get some of this eraser, this sticky eraser, and keep it stuck to the table. Now, the reason why I got a glass table is because if I wanted to do painting, I can use the actual glass as a palette for the paint and then just clean it off real easily. So, like, if kami can be representing of something spiritual or in the realm of nature, then a lot of things can become kami. And I'm kind of curious myself because that'd be kind of cool, quite the honor if you were just that awesome of a human being and you became a kami, right? Like, oh, it sounds like I'm saying communist. That's interesting. No, a kami, Kami, and because I'd imagine people will have to kind of vouch for your name to be a kami. You can't just like say I want to be a kami, or if you were just that good, you were a kami. But like people would have to assume that you've done a lot of good, and then now go offer offerings and tribute to you. Okay, just adding some details here. This pen has a very strange tip, and because I'm not drawing usually straight down, it's giving some weird effects. That's because of the cameras, so I apologize. It's Monday, everybody. You guys are probably on your way to work, probably flipping through YouTube, like, what's up? And that's cool. You know what? You know what's cool about you going to work, though? Is you're going to make money. You're going to get paid. But it depends if you like your job, I guess that's really what it is. Hopefully you do. Hopefully you're doing something that's tolerable, at least, and making that money is more entertaining than dreadful. But if it is dreadful, hey, I know how you feel. That's why I'm drawing. So I'm praying to the art gods that this will sustain a free lifestyle. Don't we all? Starving artist thing is a interesting concept that creatives have a harder time to maintain their lifestyle than those who just type away data. That's cool though. We need hardships as artists. I think if we didn't have our hardships, none of our art wouldn't be as valuable as it is, you know. That's what makes it great. The difficulties. Okay, looking good. I'm taking some of the design of this deer from an old painting, from an ancient Japanese painting. So that's where I'm getting the design for the straps and the saddle and the ornaments accompanying his straps. Put all these ads on my YouTube. Okay, we're making some moves. It's looking good. When I draw fur on animals, I don't always do like a straight line outlining the contour. I did it here because it's kind of foreground bold lines. But when I get a chance, I try to do these little furries, you know, like little furry line things where it kind of represents a straight line, then furry, kind of like Morse code, kind of, you know. It just builds this idea that the animal has texture and hair, you know. Hmm. There we go. You know, stuff like this, you know, it looks like I'm making like a splashing murkiness of the smoke, I mean, of the fog and this like swamp. I get lucky with stuff like that sometimes. When I'm designing it and drawing it, it looks like I know what I'm doing, but sometimes I just like accidentally do it. So people are like, oh, that looks cool. It's like, yeah, it looks cool. Thank God I accidentally did that. Okay. This deer is looking good. I think next time I go to Japan, I'm going to go to Nara Park. Nara Park is where they have the deer and stuff, and you can probably seen TikTok videos and Instagram reels of it. But yeah, these deers are very sweet, and you just feed them, and Yeah. Okay. Gotta add some more texture to this deer, some more spots at least. And deers are very, very sweet creatures. Too bad we eat a lot of them, but at the same time, like they do try to taste good when you hunt. But I don't eat it very often. Used to back in Texas. Did a lot of hunting and stuff like that. Not myself, my family. But deer jerky's pretty good. Don't give me more. That's like the fourth ad. Golly. There we go. Sorry, guys. I should choose a different lo-fi. Here we go. Yeah. That's my group. Welcome to Late Night with Inktology. Let's jam to your nice morning to work. I would love to have been a radio host. That'd have been the coolest. We're gonna play some smooth, jazzy tunes for you. You know, I think inking is one of the coolest forms of like dealing with my stress and like creating art that way, because it's so permanent and it puts so much fear into my like whether or not I'm going to do it right or I'm going to mess up. But I've learned to enjoy messing up, because messing up means I have to create something cool out of it, and it usually I can create something a little bit more fun. But I don't know, the permanence of it, the threat is actually kind of enticing to me. Is that weird? Is that sadistic? I don't know. Like I kind of like that it's kind of threatening me. It's like, don't mess up. But then when I do, I'm like, you know, hey, it'll be all right. It'll be good. Happy mistakes. My man Bob Ross said that. Not accidents, but happy mistakes. No mistakes. Happy accidents. Haha, that's the one. Happy accidents. Good old Bob. Yeah, I gotta make some murky water here. Wiggling my pen around and kind of jiggling it to create this, you know, more rough line work definitely helps separate this clean and little furry deer from all this chaos. No, not all these. I feel like we're just gonna have ads all morning. So, Indigenous Day is coming up, that is an important day for me because I love the indigenous people of North America and even South America. But here in the States, we have the indigenous and communities and these amazing um, indigenous like powwows and stuff that go on. And it's really cool that, one thing I'm proud of about America is that they finally changed Columbus Day to Indigenous Day. And I know people are not happy about that, but they need to read a book or something because we change days and stuff all throughout history. We change all kinds of stuff. It's whether or not we change it for the right reasons, right? And I think this is the right reason. America is not innocent in the destruction of an entire people group that we literally give no attention to these days, and even in politics, the indigenous, the Native Americans, the tribes, the communities that cultivated this land before we even arrived. And when I mean we, the immigrants. Because if you're not indigenous, you're an immigrant. Sorry to say it. We all are. But, if you're a national, you have a duty now that you're born and raised here that protect this land, take care of it, just the way the indigenous did and intended for it. It's kind of like if you go to like Korea, you don't want to go there and just enforce your own culture and your own way of living from your own country because they have thousands and thousands of years of religious culture and social culture and not all of it's good, but you can't go in there and just start forcing your way through because that's just not how the world works. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm sure it was something super important and deep about to come to fruition from all that, but this drawing got me all confused. If you're like, Josh, you're an idiot, I'd be like, well, you're not wrong, but I'm having fun, so it doesn't matter. Curious, have you been to Japan? And if you have, what did you do? What did you eat? Ooh, that's the real important question. What did you eat? Because Japan has food that is so heavenly. Man. I don't know if you're a sushi fan, but I am a sushi fanatic. Oh, I'm drawing off page. Let's zoom out. I think that's about as much detail as I'll have on the deer for now. I wasn't sure if I was going to put a tail, but then I don't even know if these guys have big tails, so. Okay. That look good? That looks good. Okay. Small minor details and then we'll move on. Okay, that is deer. Okay. All right, guys. Let's move on. Give me a second. Let me get a drink of coffee real quick, okay? That was gross. All right. Drink that too fast. Okay. And we're back. Welcome to Early Morning with Josh and Inktology. I guess I gotta change the. It was supposed to be last night. I couldn't do it. Dog got sick. All right. Moving over. Now, this word is murky. What is the word murky? Murky means foggy, dirty, uh, kind of muddy, or kind of foggy, I guess is more. But I like murky as kind of swampy. That's what I think murky is to me. So that's what I'm trying to create, this swamp-like water that this thing is walking through. This kami. I think I'm going to draw a yokai, which is more of the monstrous looking characters, I think, of the Japanese lore and mythology. They look really cool and hardcore, so you've probably seen them if you watch any animations or anime. You've probably seen a representation of the yokai? Is it yokai? I think it's the yokai. Yeah, I think so. Ooh, rainy. But yokai would be very cool because I can really doodle and do some Kim Jong-gi style drawings with that, which would be very fun, very fluid, lots of bumps and roundness. It'd be cool. Very cool. Big head. You don't have to have proportions because proportions is not what it does, you know, what they are. When I was in Japan I went to my most recent trip was Hokkaido, and Hokkaido is up north. It is very beautiful place. You're talking about this like large island part of Japan that is got these very hardworking Japanese men and women. This culture that's kind of very influenced from Russia, and their food is fantastic. It's got their seafood masters, and you've got some great beer up there too. But when I was there, they have more of like a focus on like I guess agriculture. I feel like there is a lot of I don't know if their focus is that. From when I was there, their city part didn't feel enormous like it did in Tokyo or Kyoto or any of these other places. Um, but it's interesting because I didn't feel that there was much shrines or temples as there is in central Japan. So I need to figure out why. But that's very interesting that they changed so much out, and I just wonder if the Russian culture really had a huge influence on that kind of lack of Japanese myths and religion producing over in that area. I don't know. Should definitely look into that though. I think my favorite city though in Japan is going to be Kyoto. Osaka was really nice. Tokyo's too much. Tokyo's like uh, it's just too much. It's just too many things, too many people, too. It moves. It's like an ant pile that is always moving. People are just there's so many of them, and you just feel like you're caught up in this like ant race. And I'm like, you know what? I need some reality. But Tokyo is very cool though, so there's a lot of fun stuff to do there. But Kyoto was peaceful, beautiful, beautiful temples and history, and um, that's what I dig. History, that's cool. Okay. Now the Japanese old drawings and paintings that they used to do, they used to have it very flat. The images were very flat, and I'm going to represent that here with this tree. It's going to be very flat, almost like stands out as flat because of these things. But we'll see. Maybe I'll make it a little bit three dimensional like this here. But you know the flat paintings where you see like the geisha, and then like a bird or a tiger or something, and it's all flat drawn, 2D drawn. That's where I got this inspiration for this tree from, one of those paintings. So trees can even be kami. Kami can be mountains. It could be an entire mountain. Um, it could be practically anything that a spirit would live in, pretty much, or reside in. That could be worshipped or receive offerings or whatever the religion calls for. Usually just prayers, maybe a little ritual of like water, hand washing or something, or you know. I still have much to learn on the Shintoism and other Japanese religions, but they feel more naturalistic than they do like other than like Christianity and other ones that are more based off of the unseen, I suppose, purely unseen. Okay. Oh man, I'm off the page. What am I doing? Sorry, guys. Thought I had the whole picture in frame. let's just finish down here then. Finish this area. This murky area. Yeesh. Starting to lose control of my hand. Adding some mushrooms right here for just for fun. Who doesn't love good mushrooms? It's kind of crazy. I kind of went through this pretty fast. Impressed. I'm not going to actually detail all of this on live because I'm making the video of this one for Tuesday of the full process. And I don't want to just kind of give away everything on my live stream on how I drew it and how it came to develop. I want to give a reason for you to check out my videos. And also, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe. That'd be very cool of you. And I would say thank you. Yeah, trying to grow this channel, trying to get monetized, but I think that's the goal for everybody, right? That's what everybody wants. But, you know, I want to move on. I'm getting older, want to draw and get back to my art skills, and I have to push to do so. I mean, even if this thing doesn't take off, though, I'm still happy just to draw and showcase, you know, art and talk to artists and hang out, and that's fun to me. So, yeah, but have to have goals. Goals are fun. Okay, so I think we got most of that. We got to do this water here. Alright, just need to put in these leaves a little bit. We'll be done. That was a pretty easy one. Let's do some cobwebs, you know. It's Halloween coming up, it's October. Got to do a little bit of spider webs. Okay, so just putting in these limbs here before I go on to these little leaves. Sorry, I'm crashing right now because I haven't slept. And I woke up early yesterday too, so actually no, I woke up yesterday at 8, which I got good sleep, but it was just short sleep. So right now I have 0, and I'm running on day 2 with a lot of work under my belt, and I've got to do more work right now, man. Sucks. Why are Mondays so hard? You know, why they gotta be so tough? So stressful, so stressful. Like, can they not chill out? Like, we should have Monday off. You know what? You know what Monday should be? I got it. I fixed it. I solved the world problem. Monday should be universally a day for resets. So we spend the whole day just kind of planning out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And we shouldn't do any work on Monday. We should just be catching up with other people. You know, I guess that's what Sunday probably should be. But I'm talking about like work. Like, you should go to work, shouldn't work. Just meet with your people, have meetings and chat and talk and plan for the week. And then don't have any meetings throughout the week. No emails or anything. Just blast through it. Yeah. That's the problem. We come to work and we're all miserable because we take our own personal life to work, you know? And if we just got to work and we realized that we all have our personal lives and we got to catch up with each other, I think maybe like our work life would probably be better. It's a theory. If I ever became a manager of a place, that's what I'd implement. Like the Japanese, they would, if you're in some companies, they will make you work out as a team together with other employees. You go outside and you stretch together. You do these practices for like 30 minutes before you sit down at a desk all day. And that's a healthy way of trying to get everybody together to participate and say hello and not forget that they're not on this planet alone. You know, I think it's great. These are good things that we can learn from different cultures. Of course, no culture is perfect. You know, Japan has its issues for sure, especially with their new female prime minister, which I heard is going to be something very new. Not only being female, but her conservative views are interesting. So I think the whole world's trying to go conservative, and I wonder why, you know? I wonder if it's financial. I wonder if it's like boredom. That kind of looks good. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to finish up these little leaves up here and be pretty much done. I have to do some small details, but for the most part, we're good to go. Press the record button. Just to give you a taste of what the video will have on it, it'll be something of me detailing the tree like this. As an example of just putting in lines on the side. That's pretty much what I would do for most of the tree, and there's thin lines coming out, but there will be light coming from this deer over to this side, so the shadows, the light is actually going that direction. So I can, I'm just going to create stuff like this. Yeah. Gives a nice texture. It's always fun to play around with different styles of inking and, Darn it. Not watching my camera. There we go. Looks like the sun's coming out. You know that feeling when you've stayed up all night and all day and then the sun's coming out and you're like, oh my gosh. That's where I'm at. Delirious. Probably just going to end up watching some anime and probably passing out, but I have work to do, so I can't really do that, I guess. Oh well. I really appreciate you guys watching with me. Not a big crowd, but this crowd matters. You matter. Life is fun. At least it's meant to be, I think. I mean, it's probably meant to be tough, like all things, but you know what? Us humans, we can make it fun. Go see a movie, go to a sport, eat something yummy. All right. Looking good. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. That'd be pretty dope of you. I think you'd be the coolest person in the world if you did. Okay, so today's word, murky, as you can see right here, is murkiness. This is the murkiness. Oh, this would help. Yeah, so this is murkiness. This little part right here I didn't color in because there is a goddess or a kami that I'm going to put right here in the dead center that will be white to give some more negative space, as this will be all detailed with line work except for this and this. So these will be to the white spaces for the most part. Even the smoke will be detailed. And an example of what I mean how I'm detailing it is kind of like I'm going to contour around the shape of the fog and the smoke, you know, this kind of line work. Not really care. I'm going to have fun not caring about the lines. I'm going to just wiggle them around and make them morph when they morph, and just do that all the way through, but not in the same width of hold on one second. Not the same width. I'll probably change it to something smaller and thicker. The thicker one would be a 0.4, and I would just outline, right? Give some more shadow to this. And that should make it more murky. There's also the 0.05, 0.5 Copic. Oh, that's a fat one. Dang, I thought this was the wrong number. I thought it was a super thin one. It's the big one. Ooh, it writes. I mean, it draws beautifully though. It's a nice thick to it. Okay. 003. This is where I would do these thin lines. And that gives it a very cool effect. So yeah, I'm going to finish that today, this drawing in completion, and then post a video for you tomorrow to watch on this whole thing. And yeah, anyways, if you're an artist, that's cool. Go draw. I want to see some stuff. Join me on Discord, and let's see what your Inktober is, right? Oh yeah, I gotta do Pierce. Maybe I should pierce his nose, and that'd be it. But I'll figure out something. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys